Hello, Monday, and we're going to stick with one thing today, and it is the what do they call it, analysis done by the Brookings Institute in conjunction with the Financial Times. The heading on the conclusion of all that analysis is "Another False Dawn or Reason for Optimism?" And it's called TIGER. There's tracking indexes for the global economic recovery. TIGER. Okay, so I won't read you it all. You can follow the link and read it for yourself, but I'll just read you the final paragraph. 4 years after the financial crisis drove the world economy to the brink of collapse, the pervasive sense of imminent doom has given way to cautious and nervous optimism. However, the global economic recovery is still sputtering due to a lack of robust demand. Policy tools that are stretched to their limits and unable to muster much traction, and enormous risks posed by a weak financial system and political uncertainty. Basically, what I've been saying, that if there's a downturn in the next 6 months, the world is going to struggle to react to it because governments are doing this austerity thing and are scared of letting their budgets get any further. And on the monetary side, central banks have done an awful lot already. Right. So let's move from that to a different link, because it's linking to a different PDF, but it's all part of this TIGER thing. Real activity indicators. Okay, now we've got the color coding is total in red, and the world has been split between advanced and emerging markets for the whole of this. So red, blue and buff color are total advanced and emerging markets, but you can see they'll always run about parallel. Advanced might be sometimes higher than emerging, or emerging higher than advanced, but they run just about parallel. So for industrial production, you can see the shape is very clear. Down into the recession, up in recovery. The recovery at its height was bigger than it was before the recession, and a tailing down to now. Imports, just about exactly the same shape. Right, so that's number 2. 2B from this particular one is exports. We've done imports, now we're doing exports, and obviously it goes similar to imports, and it's the same shape. Down for the Great Recession, up for an impressive looking recovery because it was better than the recession was, and then trailing downwards to about zero now. This next one is the main reason that I'm doing this presentation. Employment in advanced nations, all on its own in blue. Down through the recession, up to the recovery, going down into earlier, the last year's looking double dip looking thing, and then it recovered, and it is maintaining its recovery. Now this is the part that I do not understand. I do not know why in the advanced nations unemployment is so good. I don't know why it's holding on as well as it is, when it is out of whack with the rest of these charts, the ones I've just presented and the ones I'm going to present now. So we're into real activity indicators, GDP. So in the same series, and it's the same shape. You can see emerging markets GDPs have held up better than the advanced markets, with obviously the total in between, but the shape is still the same. But advanced GDP is now getting down towards zero, where emerging's holding up at about 4 or 5. Yeah, nothing we don't know. Right. This is financial indicators and is actually on a different PDF link. Equity markets, that's the stock markets in emerging and advanced, exactly the same shape. bit more wobbly, but the same shape, except they're slightly lower now. They're below zero in emerging and advanced. Stock market capitalization, the amount of money in there, the complete worth of everything, and obviously it's a similar shape. Still in financial markets, in the last one, and probably the most important one, is credit growth, the amount of debt rising in emerging markets and advanced. And you can see the interesting thing on this one is that credit growth was running just under and over 10% for advanced nations, and it didn't crash below zero. It just went down to zero for the Great Recession, and is bouncing along the bottom in just about positive territory of about 1, 2, 3% ever since the Great Recession. Yeah. This is why I don't know why unemployment is holding on. I think businesses are just confused about what's going on. But credit growth, credit creation in emerging markets recovered, but not as to where it was before the Great Recession, and is now starting to tip down. Now that is bad news for the world, the chances of the world going into a new recession. There's no reason it should be a crash, but it should slip into recession with the problems that emerging's got, and advanced has got natural, as it were, problems, and emerging markets now turning down on their credit growth. A lot of emerging markets are built on credit growth. You can see it in 05, 06, 07 and 08 there, and it's turning down. Yeah. And again to note, the bumping along the bottom that advanced credit growth has been doing since the Great Recession. Right. Confidence indicators are the final PDF link, and they're a similar shape to the now standard shape, down for the recession, up and then down again. But you can see that emerging markets didn't even, their confidence, asking the people and businesses how you feel you're doing, didn't even go zero. They might have just got dipped below zero for a couple of weeks, and then they were back up again. The advanced confidence went down through zero in the Great Recession, and has basically stayed there ever since. And that is why the credit growth is not there, because nobody will take on credit while their confidence is low. And it's surprising that the confidence indicator has ticked up for emerging markets at the time that their credit growth ticks down. Business confidence, again, for both, it's just not as high as in the recovery as one would expect it to be to hold GDP up. And that is basically the end of the report. All of these links are worth following, and the whole thing from Brookings Financial Tiger thing is worth reading, but I've given you the bones of it there. But the employment, not just holding on but improving in advanced markets, I don't understand, and am trying to look into, and when I know, you'll know. Okay, have a good week. Bye.